This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Lori Harris. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Well, for me, it is a Valentine's Day night. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Valentine's.
Yes. Share the love, right?
There we
It's
go.
great night.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you're the first person to actually announce that it is Valentine's Day. I do appreciate that. That speaks hugely about who you are, I think. Do tell me which of your talents. Well, before we even do that, what part of the world are you in right now?
I reside in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm originally was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. So I'm a Cali girl who has gone Southern. How's that?
Oh, well, it's intriguing. The accent actually dwelled in the two statements you made there. I'm a Cali girl, and then you came Southern.
That's right. And that's what my friends say too. So I love it.
That's wonderful. Well, do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
So I think my networking talents, I naturally am in my element when I am brokering, when I'm connecting people, and I believe in the law of attraction. So being a connector and a broker of good things, it happened. And so here we are.
Isn't that amazing? So who did you learn that from, though? That connecting ability? Is there someone in your family who did that as well?
Yes. Well, I believe that we stand on the shoulder of giants, and those giants can be people who are family. So my mother was a connector, but also I've come across those types of individuals throughout my life, and they have taken the time to share with me the importance of being cognitive, being present, and being mindful of people and watching their body language and being able to observe a room and being able to listen with our eyes and our ears and our other senses to be able to connect and to be able to utilize that to create value, to create growth, to create opportunity. And so that's come from an enormous amount of people throughout my lifetime, but it started with my mother.
Oh, that's great. Why will you continue to be that person? Definitely there are challenges when you are the connector, right? Sometimes you're shut down sometimes in life, right? But why will you continue nevertheless to be that person?
Yes, so you're absolutely right. Sometimes we become intimidating to people who aren't clear or aren't unsure. So you've got to just be very, very mindful as you approach the opportunities that come to you. And I think also do your research, do your homework. If it's intentful and it's purposeful and you're seeking to connect with someone and network with someone, be purposeful about that. Do your research, do your homework. And if you are gifted with the natural law of attraction and you're gifted with the opportunity to connect with someone, I would recommend that do your research.
Yeah, I think it's a
right?
one size fits all. Yeah, do your research. It's very important. I totally agree.
Right.
Totally agree. Now, you're a podcaster as well, which means you're family, because podcaster, family podcaster. Tell us about your podcast, please.
So I'm a Rotarian. I happen to be involved with the greatest civic club organization throughout the world. And the greatest thing about Rotary is our mission is to serve and to do that service above self. So I'm always seeking out the great stories of Rotarians and Rotary and the impact that Rotary makes. And I had an opportunity to be a part of a startup of a new concept club for Rotary, and it's called Passport. Passport gives us specifically a passport to join other Rotarians in what they're doing or have them join us. So we don't have a lot of the same limitations as some of the traditional clubs, I don't have to go to sit-down meetings if I don't want to. I can take virtual meetings online,
Sweet.
and I can engage in all kinds of service projects all over the world, including my own hometown.
Wow.
So so it's really exciting. And our club does its own service projects, but we also join others. And what happened with this, it's a district, so it's a regional approach. We have a district. And one of the things that I saw in our district area in the eastern territories of North Carolina was we're not always all connected online. And there's numerous ways, as a marketer background I had, there's numerous ways that people connect to information. And we just didn't have a lot of the different marketing channel type material out there. And I thought a podcast could help us tell a lot of the really great stories that are happening in Rotary these days. So I started a podcast with the new club, and that was kind of one of my ways to give back to my district and to my Rotary group here.
I think it's going to be really intriguing when you are president, and that's my call, right? You are president-elect, but I'll say it'd be really cool when you are president to see how that podcast goes, because then you'll be the first president podcaster in the entire Rotary, right? Is that correct?
Wonderful. That's a great idea. I didn't think about that. You just gave me a thought there to have some fun with that.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. Our district conference is coming up in April, and I'm actually going to be present at it. And over the 4-day period, I look forward to interviewing people while I'm up there. So very, very excited about that. And the podcast is going well. I also produce another podcast with JCG Consulting called Executive Conversations.
Ooh, I love that name. You can imagine.
It is. So I produce that and promote that. And I've had the pleasure and the honor, honestly, of interviewing a couple of the individuals. But one of the important part about that podcast is the guests mostly are part of the Marshall Goldsmith 100 coaches, which are some of the most profound, most knowledgeable wisdom in the world in regards to business and leadership. And so I couldn't be more excited to be a part of that as well.
That's wonderful. Well, amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Lori Harris. Lori, what's the best place for someone to connect with you who's listening?
Oh, wonderful. LinkedIn. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I write there. I share information there. And you can check me out. You can look at my resume. You can look at my companies. And you can look at my network. And we can all connect and make great value in this world and create growth and opportunity. So please reach out on LinkedIn, Lori Harris.
Love it, Lori. Let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Lori, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, gosh. Love it. I would say I was 2 years old I was 3 years old. And I had the opportunity, my mom took me to Disneyland for the first time. And I had the opportunity to see one of the electric parades that are no longer part of Disneyland. And the coolest part about it was my mom got me to the front of the parade route. And when Cinderella came out, I actually ran under the ropes and went out there and grabbed her hand. And she had me stay with her on the parade route all the way back down Main Street. So that's one of my earliest memories of being a child was I had the actual magic of Disney experience as a young child. And my mother was on the sidelines running, trying to catch me. Lori, Lori, Lori. And I just stayed out there. I was waving at everybody. I was doing what Cinderella was doing. But anyway, it was just a fabulous experience.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Oh, my gosh. Well, you talk about the law of attraction. So there I was. And then just a couple years ago, I had the honor of being invited by one of my best friends, Buck Allen, who's the son of Bob Allen, who was the right-hand man to Walt Disney. And they have a family foundation. And they give away they create value by giving away funding to numerous organizations around the world each and every year. So I got to be reconnected to the magic of Disney on a different level as an adult. And, it just comes full circle. And to be able to go and be a part of Disney Worldwide and see them, give away $25 million in a matter of an hour or two and make such a significant impact in the lives of millions of people is phenomenal. So it comes full circle, people. And I truly believe it's destiny, but it's all real. It's wonderful. And those are the kinds of things that we have abundance for if we are present and we keep ourselves aware, right?
That's amazing. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Yeah.
I love the idea of us starting this conversation with you saying that you are the connector. And, we went into me asking, why will you continue to repeat that skill? Sometimes you're shut down. And, you said, you need to do your research. And you said that a couple of times, right? Your research is necessary. But I think I love the concept as well as sometimes there's no time for research. And sometimes it's a matter of that instinct that clicks, and to see you as that child walking in that instinctive ability to know that that's who you were connected with and following through is pretty beautiful to me.
Oh, thank you very much. And it may come from my whole entire life, and my mother comes into play, but she always said, you're not of this place, you are of the world. And so go be, go do, go connect, go live. And so being able to do that, and just, she always said, be a sponge and be open, but also be aware. And she never told me not to be afraid, but just to be aware. And that awareness, and it's true, we have the innate ability to sense. And pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen. When the hair stands up on your neck, pay attention to that.
Love it. Well, Lori, if we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now you're getting the nerd in me. I'm a wannabe nerd. I'm a wannabe astronaut. I'm a wannabe space freak. I don't know. So, Star Wars.
There we go. Here it comes up.
The theme song to Star Wars, right?
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form that's denuding me, right? The time machine.
Love it.
Lori, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Absolutely.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
I have 2 beautiful children and an amazing husband. Yes.
You were about to say who you were married to. My apologies. I cut across you for a bit there.
Oh, that's okay. Yes. He's amazing. His name's Alton, and he's amazing.
Oh, there we go. Do you watch TV for more than... Or do you believe in God?
I am. I do. Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Possibly, yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I would say more than 8, and that's because of what I do.
Lori, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Lori Harris, what would you say that is?
What would be... what represents me? Help me understand that.
Sure. Your own unique real statement. A statement that represents who you are. Lori Harris. What would you say that is?
Heart, thoughts, words, deeds, outcomes.
Love it. Say it one more time, please. Heart,
thoughts, words, deeds, outcomes.
Love it. Lori, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I just would love for people to reach out and listen to your show. You've got some great conversations and some great podcasts. So just blessings and gratitude, and I look forward to connecting.
I appreciate that. Laurie Harris, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.